Good morning students, hope you all are fine. So today we are going to start our new lesson, that is lesson number 9, and its name is Understanding Solutions. So in this chapter basically we discussed that what is solute, we discussed what is solvent, how we can define the solution. We also discussed about the saturated solution. In this chapter, Understanding Solution, we also discussed that how a solution is formed. The process of evaporation, the process of crystallization is also discussed in this chapter. And at last, we discussed about the gases can dissolve in water. So these are all points that we discussed in this chapter one by one. So let's start the chapter. Water can dissolve many things. Salt and sugar are soluble in water. When solid sugar or salt is added into the water, they get broken up into small pieces or particles. These particles spread out in water since the particles are very small and we cannot see them. So basically what happens that water has the ability to dissolve many things in it. For example, salt, it can also dissolve in water, and similarly the sugar, it can also dissolve in water. So we can say that salt and sugars are soluble in water. So what happens when the solid sugar or salt added in the water? So basically when we add solid sugar or salt in the water, they are broken into small particles, and these particles spread in the water since the particles are very small. So that's why we cannot see them with the naked eye. Solute and solvent. When we add sugar or salt in a glass of water and stir it, the solid crystals start to dissolve in the water to form a solution. In all solutions, the substance that dissolves is called the solute. The substance that dissolves the solute is called the solvent. Different solvents dissolve different solutes. For example, salt dissolves in water but not in petrol and alcohol. Sugar is different from salt as it dissolves in all water, alcohol and petrol. So basically when we talk about the solution, so there are two components of the solution. The number one is the solute and the second one is solvent. In majority of the solutions, the solute is in less quantity and the solvent is in large quantity. And the solute is the substance that is dissolved in solvent, and the substance that dissolves the solute in it is called solvent. So this is the major difference between the solute and solvent. And if we consider the examples of different solutions, so these are salt solution and this sugar solution. These are the two solutions that we use in our daily life. So in the salt solution, how the salt solution is formed, that we add salt into the water. So a salt solution is obtained. Similarly, when we add sugar into the water and stir it, so we get the sugar solution. So these two are the examples of the solution. There are different types of solutions available, and it is not necessary that all solute dissolve in all type of solvents, but there is the term specificity is used. For example, the salt is dissolved in water, but it cannot dissolve in the alcohol. It is also insoluble in the petrol. But if we talk about the sugar, so it can dissolve in water. It is also soluble in alcohol and petrol. So it depends upon the solute. Some solute dissolve in all type of solvents, but some solutes show the specificity in the type of the solvent, just like the salt. Now comes to the saturated solution. A solution that contains the maximum possible amount of solute is called a saturated solution. It means in a saturated solution, no more solute can be added. So basically, saturated solution means that there is no space for the solute to be added into the solvent, because already the enough and maximum amount of solute is dissolved into the solvent. So when there is maximum amount of solute is added into the solvent and there is no capacity of the solvent left to be dissolved the solute into it, so that solution is called the saturated solution. In the saturated solution, we cannot add more solute at a given temperature. Now, what happens when a solution is made? Solids consist of particles that are tightly packed in a fixed pattern. There are strong forces of attraction between the particles. The particles in a liquid are constantly moving. When a solid comes into contact with a liquid, particles in the liquid hit the surface of the solid. In these strikes, some of the particles in solid change their position. A solution forms if the solid particles more strongly attracted to the liquid particles than they are to each other. Solvent particles surround the solute particles as the solid steadily dissolves. The result is a solution. So basically what happens that when we dissolve the solute into the solvent, if the solute is solid in its nature, so if we talk about the pattern of the solid particles, so they are tightly packed with each other. Solid particles are fixed in their positions. There are strong forces of attraction are present between the solid particles. So that's why the solids have the definite shape. And it is not easy to change the position of the solid particles. But if we talk about the liquids, so in the liquids the particles are not tightly packed with each other, but there are negligible spaces are present between the liquid particles. So that's why the liquids does not have the specific shape, but they contain the shape of any container in which they are put. So in liquids the particles are constantly in movement. So basically, in most of the solution, the solvent is always liquid. And in most of the solutions, the solute is mostly solid. So what happens when we mix the solvent that is liquid in its nature in the solute that is solid in its nature? When the solid particles of the solute come in contact with the liquid particles of the solvent, then they collide with each other. The solid particles of the solute collide with the liquid particles of the solvent. And as a result of their collisions, some of the solid particles change their positions. So a solution is formed if the solid particles more strongly attracted to the liquid particles than they are to each other. So it is very important for the solute that the forces of attraction which are present between the solid particles should be weaker as compared to the forces of attraction that are present between the liquid particles of the solvent and the solid particles of the solute. So the solvent particles surround the solute particles. In this way, the solid solute dissolves rapidly. So in this way, the solution is formed.